Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're talking about the one and only Zebec Network. Now, before we do get into the technical analysis, let's look what Zebec Network has been up to. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that Zebec has reached a milestone with over 4 billion Zebec staked. Okay. This is a massive achievement for our staking program. Thank you to everyone who supported us throughout the journey. Just keep building. Earn up to 15% APY on your Zebec at stake.zbec.io. Right. So pretty much you can be getting 15% per year, which is pretty good. It's more than the banks and people that are already, investing in crypto. I'm assuming you guys are investing here because you're tired of these low percentages the banks offer. They offer like 1.5, 2, 2.5. Zebec Networks offers up to 15%. So that's an absolute W. And we can see here, ladies and gentlemen, right, why Payroll, our COO Simon breaks down the 500 billion plus opportunity in Payroll and why the system hasn't changed in 75 years. After 3 years of building and the US warming up to crypto, now's the time to bring stable coins into the mainstream payroll systems. So we're going to watch this. We're going to talk about it in a sec. And then we are going to look at the technical analysis.
Simon, why payroll though? What's the importance of that to you guys? And what do you think the larger opportunity is with payroll as a sector, and the guide rails and the infrastructure of crypto?
Everyone that works globally is part of the payroll economy. We're looking at 500 billion as the industry size in the US. And this is an industry that has largely gone unchanged for the past 75 years. From the beginning of the SWIFT banking system in the 1950s, you look at payroll as a bi-weekly or monthly process that is run on banking rails, meaning that companies need to fund their payroll on Wednesday, the employees will get paid on Friday. Employees are paid typically 2 to 4 weeks after actually completing the work. So it's a very old and antiquated system that was ripe for change. Now, change has only been able to come in recent years with the advent of blockchain technology and the ability to pay people in faster increments of time at much lower transaction costs and higher speeds. That is what Zebec pioneered on the Solana blockchain back in 2022. We have been perfecting this product and commercializing this product now for the past 3 years. And now is really the time that we're finally starting to see good levels of adoption across our portfolio into crypto and stablecoin based payroll.
Simon.
And we can see, ladies and gentlemen, right? He talked about how there's just now a lot of adoption in the last little bit. And you know what, guys, there have been so many positive things done for crypto over the last year. This altcoin season, this crypto, this whole bull run is going to explode, and Zebec is going to be part of that history. When we look at Zebec, ladies and gentlemen, we can see we're currently at 473 million market cap, 22 million volume in the last 24 hours, which is not concerning, right? It is the weekend, so do not be concerned. And of course, we can see, ladies and gentlemen, if we go over here, we'll be able to see how many holders there are. And we can see we smashed 80,000 holders. So we're consistently, right, growing roughly that 150 to 200 people a day. This is fantastic, people, right? Just not too long ago, we were barely at 79,000, right? Just a couple of days ago, we're at 79,000. Now we're at 80,000. And just take in that this is without bandwagon. This is without getting it overhyped. This is without, the masses just coming in and just, bandwagoning. This is, people see this project and they see value. Okay, that is the reality. Okay, they see value, which is fantastic. So imagine what's going to happen when altcoin season comes around, when more adoption comes around, when, the whole world is trying to get into crypto and they start hearing about Zebec Network. We're going to be having thousands of people join every single day, part of the army, right? They're going to become part of the army. Unfortunately for them, they are going to be coming in late. But for people like us, it's going to be the best beneficial thing. Listen, let's dive into the technical analysis. we can see, ladies and gentlemen, right? We are kind of just ranging right now. I will say, all right, I will say we are in a very, very interesting area. And the reason why I'm saying we're in an interesting area, because the first thing I do notice is that we are creating consistent lower highs on the 4 hour, right? When we go look over here, we can see we have this high over here, boom, at roughly 0.0059. And then we do have another high roughly at 0.00586. And then we can see we have another one right over here at 0.00576. But there's also another side to this, that the floors are consistently rising. And we can see the floor at the bottom here at 0.0046 is this first floor. Then we have another floor that's relevant right over here at 0.005. And then we have another one at 0.0051. And we can see, even if we are coming back down here, and as long as we're technically above the 5-1, all right, we can create another floor. But what do you notice? It's, well, we're getting squished, which means Zebec Network has to make a choice. And to be honest, with the way we have been trending, with what's been happening with Bitcoin dominance, if we go look over here, Bitcoin dominance has been getting destroyed. And, we are below a massive zone. Listen, this isn't like a, December type rally. This is for the first time we're actually below a massive key zone. Now we still have 1 or 2 days left until we officially close. But ladies and gentlemen, this closes like this. You might see altcoins, this Bitcoin dominance go up one more time for the last time, and then might just start selling off, which means Zebec is prepared, in my opinion, for a blast off. And not only Zebec, but just the whole of crypto is preparing. Okay, the whole of crypto is preparing. Now, I will say though, as a weekly though, this is a doji candle, right? Usually with doji candles, you do kind of see some type of reversal, but also, ladies and gentlemen, this could just be literally this, right? It could be literally this, and I would bet my money it's more on this type of scenario where even if we do have a sell off week a little bit, it's going to be more of a fake out. So prepare for a fake out potentially, okay? A potential fake out. But I wouldn't get worried if we do experience it, okay? A move does have to happen soon, okay? Like I said, the roof is getting squished in, the floor is getting higher, which ultimately means we are running out of wiggle room and we have to make a choice, okay? So overall, still very bullish with Zebec. If we do end up pushing to the upside, then the next area we will be contesting is the all-time highs, all right? That is literally the next relevant area. So we could see a nice pump of, roughly 35%, maybe even a spike and take out the highs of 40%. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking really, really good. In terms of the trend line, you could argue that, at one point we broke a little bit, but overall, it is fantastic, right? Whether or not a fake out happens or we go straight up, ultimately, we are super, super bullish. The whole crypto market is super, super bullish. And ladies and gentlemen, you should be excited because these next few weeks, potentially, up to 12 weeks, are going to be the most insane weeks of your lives. Anyways, guys, love you so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.